This video is a quick start guide for Securely Device Console. We'll be looking at how to schedule and start a class session in the device console. And once that class session is running, you can push websites to your students' Chromebooks. You can lock them on a particular website, and you can block websites from their Chromebooks. We'll look at how to do that and also how to save a list of links that you will use to make it more convenient to do those things. And we'll also look at some other capabilities of the device console. So to get there, you can go to securely.com and hover over Login and then click Device Console. So once you get to this website, just bookmark it. And so you can go back easily. And once you're here, click Sign In with Google. And there you are. This location drop down up here is the first thing you need to check. Make sure you're at the right location. So you click this drop down and you want the one that says Sullivan High School. So here we are. I'm going to go to this fake class that I have. I want to be there. Okay. So you have a drop down. Once you're at the right location, you have a drop down here where you can choose one of your classes. And the first thing I'm going to look at, though, is go over here to this classes link. And this is where you can see all your classes. They're listed in the Canvas Classes tab. And you could schedule one of these classes or any of them to start automatically at a certain time. So that could be handy. I'll look at my test class, and over here there's a scheduled column, and click the minus in that column, and I can schedule this class. First thing, though, it has the tab Class Students is the tab that's open. There are the students in this class. They're just made up names. Class Details is the tab I click if I want to schedule that class to automatically start. So I can check this box, automatically start on schedule. If I decide I don't want it to automatically start, I can just uncheck that one box. I put in the days, I put in the time, and I have options. I can enforce a block list. I've previously set up some block lists, and so I could pick one of those. And I have some other options down here about maximum number of tabs and close all tabs when class starts and so on. So once this is set, I save it and that class will automatically start at those times. Oh, I didn't put the link then, 45 minutes. And then the class will automatically start. Now use this with caution because this will happen whether we have school or not. And you have to remember to change it if days we don't have school, especially if you have something checked down here to enforce a block list and so on. You might be blocking YouTube, and that will happen even if they don't have school. So also on 2-hour delay days, you would have to go in and change this, and then change it back on a regular day. So just be aware of that if you want to use this. But I would just click save if I wanted to save that schedule. So say I could just uncheck the automatically part and I could still keep the schedule in there and click save. Okay, so to work during a class session, we want to be at Teacher Tools. And we pick from the drop down the class that you're working with, and I'm going to stay with test class. Now, if the class started automatically because of our schedule, it would already be running. But in this case, we're going to start it manually. and it actually gives us some instructions to start a class. Choose a class from the selection box. We did that. Deselect any students that are absent. So anyone who's absent, you can deselect them. And then click the Start Class button. So if you're doing it manually, that's what you do. And all you really have to put in there is quickly put in 45 minutes for the time, if that's the length of the class period, and then click Start. You can, at this time, also pick a block list. Any block list that you've already set up, movie block list, for example, you can pick. You can also um, pick any of these other check boxes that you want to do. So you click Start, and that class is now running. So let's look at what we can do. We could screen lock the entire class. Do you want to apply the screen lock to all devices? Sure, I do. I don't want them looking at their computers right now. I want them paying attention, participating in the discussion. I can click yes. It has a message. I can put something in there and screen lock. And they are now locked. These are made up students, not real computers. Now I can release that anytime I want. Just click release. Do you want to apply release to all devices? Yes. Okay, so what else can I do? I can push a URL. Do you want to push it to all devices? Yes. Otherwise, it would let you push it to just selected ones. I can choose one of these URLs that I have previously set up. Let's say Canvas. Click push URL. That pushes it to them. It does not lock them. Let's say I realize, oh, I actually want to lock them onto Canvas. So that is site lock. Click site lock. Yes, I wanted to apply it to all devices. I can pick Canvas or some other site. This box down here, allow entire site, is automatically checked, and that's usually what you probably want so they can navigate around that entire site while they are locked on Canvas. They can navigate anywhere within Canvas. So click Site Lock, and it says operation completed, and they would be locked onto Canvas. If this were a real class, we would be able to see their screens down here. Okay, so that's how you do Site Lock. You can do announce, put an announcement on their screens. We have the release button we talked about a while ago. Share screen is one more. This could be really handy. If your projector's broken, you could say, well, I've got this PowerPoint or Google Slides on my computer. I'll just share that and let them all see it on their computers. So click Share Screen, share with all students, yes. And there are the options. I can lock them into it if I want to. I can broadcast audio. If my computer is going to be playing audio, I could have it playing on all of their computers as well. Click Continue. Entire screen, a window, or a Chrome tab. Let's say I have a PowerPoint on a particular Chrome tab. Click Chrome tab. And, well, I don't have, yeah, here we go. Here's a PowerPoint, and I can share. And there it is. So I could go through this PowerPoint with them. It would be on all of their screens. When I'm finished, stop sharing. Now, the pushing of websites and the site locking them into a website, can also be done with individual computers. Since these aren't real computers, I can't show you how to do that, but we would choose the computer and then we could do those things individually. We can also, lock that person's computer. If one particular student needs the computer locked, they're playing games and you don't want them to, you can just lock their computer. So I also want to look at how do you set up those lists of sites so that you can quickly choose a particular site to push out to the students or to lock them into or whatever. So you actually have to go up to this drop down to get there. And so that's a little odd. It's the organization drop down. Click that and web links. Now, this is a list of the web links that I've already set up. I can create another one, add another one to this list by clicking create. I want to put the web link in here. I can type in the URL and it has it started for me with that's pre-populated. I think it's easier to just get rid of that. And let's say I want DC Comics. I copy that URL and just paste it in to the URL field, and then I could type the name DC Comics and save. That puts it on my list. Here it is. The other tab here is block lists. So that's where I create my block lists. I have 3 of them here. To create a new one, just click create. I can give it a name, save it. That would be a new block list. And then I would add things to that. But going back to my list here, I can go to one of those lists. I have a couple things on it already. I can add, let's say I want to actually have DC Comics on that list. I can copy its URL, paste it in, and save. And now that list now includes DC Comics as well. So again, that is now on that default block list. I can navigate back by just typing this block list here, and that takes me back to all of my block lists. And I also have the tab web links, and I can now use those in the things I want to do, like pushing URLs to my students and so on. So I'm just going to go back to Teacher Tools. This class is still going on. It has 35 more minutes to run. Let's say I want to end the class. It will automatically stop when that time is up, but I can stop it early by clicking Stop Class. So that's the basics. Once you get your site lists, set up your web links list and your block lists, then you're ready to go. And just let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this will get you started. I wanted to mention one more thing. Up here you have Switch to Nucleus UI. It's another user interface. It looks better, but it's in beta and may not have all the capabilities. But for example, here when you switch to that one, the web links is right here. You don't have to click a drop down to get to it. So that's one advantage. Everything's a little bigger and easier to see. So I think it just takes fewer clicks and it's a little better, but currently it's in beta. So back to the regular one. And if you have any questions with it, just let me know.